All right, this is a little combo day 4/day 5 on Monday and Wednesday. I really wanted to finish the big planner box before I headed out of town this week. So at least now I kind of had an idea of where to start, what materials were needed, and what the process was going to look like. But it is a much bigger planter, and it's only one-sided with kind of two-side supports. It's going up against the house around our chimney by the concrete pad. So I still needed that 4x4 to create the legs of it, and then a bunch of those cedar fence posts that I could just trim off that little end cap that makes it look like a fence post, so it's a perfect 71 inches technically fence board. So I have 3 sections that are roughly 6 feet, so it works really well to put 3 rows of those fence posts. So I'm just kind of like laying it out, making sure that's right, and the left side of the chimney is the shorter side, so I did trim that up a little bit, but for the most part, it was 6, so almost 18 feet long. So trim off the tips of all of those fence post boards once I confirmed that that was going to work. And then I basically have to get all this put together on the 4x4. But this time, instead of just overlaying it all the way, the fence post boards are going to meet halfway across those. So you're going to see me start laying it out. I start with the center. So I drew a line down the middle of that 4x4, and then I just drilled those 4 planks at the halfway mark, and then that way there was still space on the left and right sides to add the planks there. I had Andrew help me put it up, make sure that it was going to fit before I added the rest of the board. So we did that, we checked, it's definitely going to fit. So I'm able to screw these all in. And again, not perfect cuts because I just have a little circular saw with no like 90-degree attachment, nothing. So it's really eyeballing it and just drawing a little line and hoping that I do decent enough. So it doesn't have to be perfect, but it's good enough. I then am measuring the depth of it, and I'm needing to pickaxe out. We had some serious roots at the side of the house. We had a big pine tree that got cut down, and all of these roots are going up under the foundation, under that fence, which we're eventually going to replace the fence, but right now we're not. So I just need to put a left side of a planter box to just kind of bridge the gap between it and the fence so that when we replace the fence, we're good to go. But what I didn't realize was the cement footing on that fence post is a little thicker than I thought, so I kind of can't put the planter box as close to the fence as I wanted to, but I'm able to squeeze it in at least for this day. This Monday was coming to an end. I kind of had to start late that day, and so I'm doing the best I can with what I've got. So cutting those boards down a little bit, making it fit, doing the sides. One side is 2 feet deep, and this side I'm only doing 16 inches deep because, again, that fence post footing's kind of throwing me off. So it's not going to bridge all the way to the wall, which isn't ideal, but it's going to get it up. It's going to be manageable, and we'll be able to put kind of a faux side on there later once we really address it. So I had Andrew come out and actually help me pickaxe the last little bit of the root because I could not get it out by myself. And we eventually clear it and the line where we're going to slide this into. So there's like a little trench between the gravel or DG, the gravel I call gravel DG, whatever you want to call it, and then I could get this in. There was a little cement footing. That was me toast after day 1. So now we're actually back on Wednesday. What I was going to say was there's a little footing on the base of the chimney that stuck out 4 inches, so it made me realize I actually couldn't butt this all the way up against the chimney, and I would need like a little lip. So I bought 1/2 inch by 4 inch pine boards to put as a trim on the top of the planter box. It honestly makes it look nicer and cleaner anyways, but I had to do it because it was going to be 4 inches off the side of the chimney at this point, and I didn't want there to be this weird gap where stuff would fall in, debris, and it would just get yucky over time. So I also trimmed down that left side because of that fence post, so I finally cut all those boards. I cut off 6 inches, so now it's 6 inches off the fence, giving us plenty of space to pour new footings when we do the fence and everything else. We could always extend it out later. And then I did get these metal stakes to anchor this in, make sure it stays in place, and then I started putting those little 1x4 pine toppers on to add a little trim. And it honestly looks really good, and I'm going to paint this later, so it doesn't matter that it's pine over cedar. There weren't any cedar pieces like this that I could find. And again, I'm leaving now. I'm at the airport, so you might hear the noise in the background, but I was leaving the next day, so I really needed to get this done. I had to pack still. We had to get organized, the house ready for being out of town for a little bit. So get these little toppers on side by side. You can see it actually looks super clean. So finish that up. I'm very proud of how it turned out. It's going to look so sick when it's painted. And then I added these last 2 little poles where our jasmine's going to cling across, but there's some before and afters. You can kind of see how the yards come together from adding the cement pad to putting in the gravel and the pavers, and I'm just very happy. So that's what it looked like last Wednesday, and this is what it looks like this Wednesday. So very, very proud of the work I was able to accomplish in less than a week and only 4 days like actively outside and working on it. So little walkthrough. This is our space now, our humble abode and our tropics.